Skinner box and the idea of conditioning. The 10th man view of national security. One fine day, the American psychologist received funding from the US military to implement his crackpot idea, as he referred to it, to set up the Project Pigeon, a proposal to use living organisms, pigeons in this case, to guide missiles. Two of his programs, a research program during World War II called Project Pigeon and a peacetime continuation of that program called OCON, short form for Organic Control, obtained sponsorship from US Naval Research Laboratory. While working on the project, he realized the power of behavior-shaping methods, which in simple words means rewarding an animal for a desired behavior response and punishing him for doing the opposite. Shortly, Project Pigeon got suspended, but the idea was captured and implemented in developing the electronic guided systems. Encouraged by the response to his crazy ideas, Skinner continued his experiments to test his ideas of behavior shaping on rats, pigeons, and other testable animals, and developed a doctrine called technology of behavior, which is also known as a technology of behavior modification. In Skinner box, a soundproof enclosure with a food dispenser that a rat can operate by pressing a lever or a pigeon by pecking a key, Skinner used to experiment with the animal's behavior through contingencies of reinforcement, or circumstances under which desired behavior is rewarded to ensure it will be repeated. The behavior he demanded from those pigeons' rats was weird and unnatural for them, such as he used to make them walk by making figure 8, by rewarding them with food at some moments. And the process, as explained by Skinner, goes like this. I watch a hungry pigeon carefully. When he makes a slight clockwise turn, he is instantly rewarded for it. After he eats, he immediately tries it again. Then I wait for more of a turn and reinforce again. Within 2 or 3 minutes, I can get any pigeon to make a full circle. Through this process, what he called operant conditioning or technology of behavior, he taught pigeons to dance and to play ping pong too. And one of his partners in those experiments got so excited that he left his full-time psychology career and started a commercial behavior business for animals. One of the key discoveries from those experiments, in Skinner's view, was the schedule of reinforcements rewards, and based on that, he devised different ways of delivering rewards as per the response rate of animals, pigeons, rats. He insisted that a procedure in which behavior is reinforced or rewarded after scheduled but unpredictable time durations yields the most stable rate of response. It meant that if an animal knows he will get some rewards for his particular behavior, but the timing for that is not fixed, it is unpredictable, then he can be tempted to do more, as long as the person who controls the box and lever of rewards wants. This is how all gambling casino systems work, and they are highly addictive too. If it can work for rats or pigeons, then why can't it work on humans too? With this fantasy in his mind, he invented several other devices, such as a cumulative recorder, an aircrib for training infants, a teaching machine to automate programmed learning, and a verbal submitter, etc. It is said that he went to the extent of performing those experiments on his kids. Skinner aspired to build such a Skinner box for the whole of humanity, where people's behavior can be shaped and controlled by a few and chosen people of the world. But who are those few people in his views? It's a question that he never bothered to answer. Later, Skinner wrote a sci-fi novel called Walden 2, 1948, where he visualized a perfectly socially engineered society, working as per his principles of operant conditioning. I have had only one idea in my life. To put it as bluntly as possible, it is the idea of having my own way, the control of human behavior. I remember the rage I used to feel when a prediction went awry. I could have shouted at the subjects of my experiments, "Behave, damn you! Behave as you ought." B.F. Skinner, Walden 2. The dialogue is from a character in the novel, who is also an alter ego of the author. It is interesting that this radical behaviorist who denied the idea of free will and independent thinking, he used to call them illusions, propagated the thesis of conditioning human actions like those of rats and pigeons, and formulated devices of social engineering, is the man behind the user experience of the world's first computer network and the first social media platform, Plato System, too. As Skinner mentioned in his paper Pigeons in a Pelican, one virtue in crackpot ideas is that they breed rapidly and their progeny show extraordinary mutations. It is a Western hypocrisy that B.F. Skinner has emerged as one of the most ridiculed as well as the most acclaimed behaviorists of his time. It seems that his ideas were criticized in public but implemented in private, particularly in all the tech innovations of the post-war phase. To see whether Skinner was successful in his experiments or not, one needs to simply look around. Skinner box is already in action. How dopamine-driven social platforms work and how they exploit the vulnerability of human behavioral aspects is now an open fact. But that does not stop people from indulging in them. After all, a pigeon inside the Skinner box has no liberty to choose, other than constantly pecking, either for reward or to avoid punishment. Look at the state of user experience today. Terms like user-friendly, customer-focused, or yes-no buttons are obsolete ideas in the world of autoplay, autocorrect, autopost, autofeed, auto-update, and auto-everything. People are denied even fraction of seconds to decide what they want to see, hear, or read. It's like feeding whatever the box owner wants.